Right. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our free online lesson. My name is Nabil Fikri, an application engineer from AutoCAD Systems. For today's free online lessons topic, I would like to share you about the AutoCAD Mechanical Content Library. Right, so this is basically our agenda for today. So we're going to take a look at the AutoCAD Mechanical. So inside of the AutoCAD Mechanical, we have a content center library. It's the same like the invented library. You have multiple standard parts that you can use from there. All right, so we're going to take a look on the content library itself, and then we're going to see what we can do to manage the contents, and then we're going to take a look at the individual icon menu. We're also going to take a look at the several other settings that we can use to basically create a multiple view or editing the actual part from there. And we're going to take a look at just a simple way on creating your own standard parts inside of AutoCAD Mechanical. Right. So for those who don't know how to get an AutoCAD Mechanical is actually part of the AutoCAD Industrial Specific Toolset. So if you subscribe to the AutoCAD software, so first of all, you will get the AutoCAD software, and then you have the 7 toolsets such as architectural, raster design, plan 3D, and one of these is the mechanical toolset that we are going to take a look at. Just a bit of a reminder, so AutoCAD LT is not part of the industry-specific toolset. So if you get the AutoCAD LT, so you will not get with the 7 toolset here. So that is just for a reminder for that. So let's take a look at the AutoCAD Mechanical. So let me just switch my view. Right, so what I have here is some simple drawing files, which is creating using the mechanicals library. We have the bolt, screw, and nut that you can find from here. So to access the content library, you can go to the content tab over here. So this is actually part of the mechanicals tools. And then what you see here, we have a few library that you can access from here. So one of the examples that I have here is the bolts here, which is already being created using the content library. So if I click at the bolt here, so I can select at the drop-down icon. So we have the diameter. So for example, if I would like to change the diameter, so I can just select from here and automatically it will update. And I can also change the length and several other things that you can specify from here. So what you see here is the content library. So it's basically a block. So it's like a block, but it's more than just dynamic block. So dynamic block, you can do many things with the block itself, but with the content library, so you have more things that you can do, such as choosing the size, and then you can just edit and so on. So to edit, like I showed you before, you can just click, you can drop down, then you can specify the length or diameter, you can change different length. I can also double click to edit it. And I can select the changes from here as well. So that is a few ways that you can use to edit. So how to apply to use this? So for that, you can go to the content library from here. So what you see in the content library here is the standard parts, which our Autodesk already provided. And this standard part is actually used worldwide. And take a look at the standard content here. You have different type of standards such as AFNO, NC, ISO, right? And then at the standard content here, we have multiple type of things that you can do. You can put a feature such as hole, right? You can put a tapered hole or slot, or maybe you want to add a fastener. So if imagine that you need to put a fastener inside of your drawing, right? And you have a standard part. So instead of manually creating the fastener itself, you can just simply drag and drop the already existing created fastener that provided by Autodesk. So for example, if I would like to use this screw here, so currently I'm using the AFNO, so I'm using the screw and thread bolt. I can select what type of bolt that I want. Maybe I want to have a socket head type. I can select more option from here, right? Then once you go inside the specific type of parts that you have, and then you have the type of view that you can select, right? Maybe I want to put it from the front view, or maybe I want to put it at the top view. So I can just select front view. I can just click anywhere from here. Then I can specify the angles of rotation. So if I want to just simply move to the right side, so I can just select from here, which is 0 degree. And then from here, I can specify what size that I want for my bolt, right? So I can select finish. Then I can specify the size of this bolt that I have. So to make it easier, let me just pin this one on the left side. So let me just pull this content center again. Right, so that is the front view. Maybe I would like to add a top view, so I can just click top view. Then I can specify the insertion point. And then I have the top view of this item, right? So this item already been provided by the Autodesk. If you take a look here, we have different type of things that you can select from here, and then we have multiple type of standards. Now, let's say if I don't want to use several type of standard, maybe I only use 3 or 5 type of standards. So you can also customize your library to show what item that you want to see, what standard that you want to see. So for that, you can select at the content manager from here. Now, first of all, let me just pull down the, let's say the ANSI here. So the ANSI here, we have many type of items that you can select from here. So let's say I'm selecting the content manager, and then from here I can select at the ANSI from here. Maybe I don't want to see a spring, so I can just turn off the spring. Maybe I don't want to see a steel shape or the features. So you can see that it is removing all of that particular parts from it. So you have easier way for you to select and manage your library from the content manager. Right, so that is just the inside of the standard part. Maybe the standard part that you don't want to see, you can also use the content manager from here. So currently we have a few, so maybe I don't want to use several of these, so I can just right click and I can select unload from a library. Then you can see it is not shown here. But maybe I don't want to see yes, so I can just select unload. Then you only have a few that you require to work with. Now you can see we have down to several other content only, right? So you can filter out from the content manager from here. So let me just filter out a bit some from here. Right, so we only have a few, and over here we can also mark our favorite tools. For example, let's say I'm using the fastener quite a lot, right? For the screw here, maybe this hex type of screw where I use the bolt here. So what I can do is that I can right click and I can add to favorite. So I can see that the item that I've marked can be seen on the favorite easily, right? So maybe I use this one frequently, so I can right click and I can select add to favorite. So you can see if I cannot select add to favorite, meaning you need to select your folder first. So maybe I'm selecting the favorite folder, and then I should be able to add into the favorites. You can rename it. I can also create a folder if I want to, right? Folder 1, maybe I have the hex cat crew, so it will be added into the folder that I choose. So that is several of the things that you can do from here. So we have a few such as fastener, right? So if I select and the off-node here, right? So you can select nuts, different type of washer, different type of pin, right? So you can directly select from here. So that is just a fastener. You can also add features such as hole. Maybe I need to have a hole at the top over here, so I can go to the features. So I can add hole. Maybe I need to have a tap hole. And I can select directly from here to here, and it will create that particular hole for me, right? So that is one of the ways. So maybe I want to add different type of hole, so I can just filter out from here. So let me just, oops. So let me just filter out the object snap from here so that I can select the hole anywhere from here. Right, so that is some of the things that you can choose from here. So that is hole. Right, maybe I don't want a hole, maybe I want to put a slot here. So I can pick slot, and I can select, maybe I want front view, maybe top view, and I can put a top view slot from here. So I can create, I can put a different type of features from here. So that is the features. So we have several other things, maybe steel slate, steel shape, right? So maybe I need to put a circular hollow or maybe I shape. So you can just pick from here. So for the I shape, it's a little bit, for the steel shape, it's a little bit different. Is that when I put it, the steel shape from here, I'm able to specify the length. So when I put a length around, let's say 500 here, then you should be able to see that the length does not actually being shown from here because we actually on the front view. So if I create a side view, maybe top view from here, so say create a top view. Okay, sorry, top view, this angle. Now I am able to specify the length that I require, right? Maybe 400, for example. Now, other things that we can do for this content library here is that we can also specify our view, right? Maybe you want to create different view of the same item. For example, the beam that I put here is actually 500 length, right? I did not see from here, but I can just double click and I can specify the new length. So I can add different view. From the tool here, I have power view. So power view allow you to create another type of view on the same item. Right? It's not actually creating a new item, but it's actually copy the same items, but you can specify different type of view. So maybe I want to have a right side, which is starting from here, and it will position on the right side from here, right? So you can see automatically it's creating 500, right? This is actually the information taken from this I-beam that we have from here. So that is power view, allow you to create multiple view easily, right? So we have, I think this one is a hole. So let's say I have the board here. I want to create side view, right? Front view. So from here, then it's automatically create that particular view. Right? It's not actually a different item. It's actually the same item. So that is our view. So other things that you can do from here is that you can also change how you see your item. For example, if I put, let's go back to the fastener. Let's say I put a hex head screw from here to here. Now, first of all, I can able to see my fastener, which is this bolt from here. So I can also change how I would like to see my bolts. For example, if I only want to see the bolt without these center lines, or maybe I would like to see the hidden line is at the back of this bolt from here. So what I can do is that I can go to the options or settings for the AutoCAD. Now, same command with the AutoCAD Mechanical, I can type in options. So it will pop up the option panel from here. Right, so similar with the normal AutoCAD. Alternatively, you can also click at the fastener from here. We have the option from here. But additional things that you have from here is that AutoCAD Mechanical provide option, which is basically for the AutoCAD Mechanical only. So if you take a look on the right side, you can scroll down a bit. You have this AM here. So AM is actually stand for AutoCAD Mechanical. So what I would like to change from here is the content side. So I can select the AutoCAD Mechanical content, and then I can able to see how I would like to see the item from here. So I have the standard representation. Maybe I only want to see a symbolic, so it's showing only the center line, or maybe just in simplified version. But I also can just select from here. So I'm selecting the symbolic, so I press OK. And then when I add that another type of item from here, you will see it's only showing the center line only, the symbol only. But it's not actually just a center line. It has a properties inside. So if I hover my mouse, it will show me what item is this. So the content type is standard parts, text head, bold, and so on. I can click here, I can drop down. Oops, I can drop down, I can specify and change the settings, the size of my board from here, like a normal content parts. So, but from here, I don't want to see a uh, simple representation from here. So let me just change back to standards. Other things that I can also toggle on and off was the center lines. Maybe I don't want to see the center lines, so I can toggle off the center lines. So I can toggle off the length rules and so on. Or maybe I would also like to see the hidden line inside. So you can see that it's automatically trim the parts that the board penetrates. But let's say this board should be at the back inside. And I would like to see the hidden line. So I can click to show the hidden line. And then I can add a new bolt, let's say from here to here. So let's make it a little bit thicker. And I click down here, then you should be able to see that the center line is no more shown. And it will also showing me the hidden line of the sector. So that is some of the things that you can do. But let's say if you would like to edit or maybe move. So to edit, you can just drop, you can change the size, the diameter from here. You can drop, make it longer or shorter. You can also double click, then you can change the size from here. But let's say if I would like to move, so if I try to move from here to here, then you will see that does not bring the hidden line as well, where the hidden line should not be appear. Same again with this one. So if I try to move from here, then we'll see that it's actually leaving the hole inside. So there are other ways for you to move this part is that you can just double click. Now you can go back instead. And then here is where you can rearrange the location and direction. So I can click here. Maybe I would like to put it somewhere around here. And this times I would like to point it on the right direction. So it will point in that right direction. Next and finish. Now, so I'm moving from here to here. And you can see we can actually change the rotation angles from here, and it will automatically fill up the area that it has trimmed before. Right? So same again with this one. So you can just double click, go back to rearrange the location. Let's say here, finish. And then you will see that it's filled up back the area that it is trimmed before. So that is some of the way for you to edit your parts. So let's take a look at several other things that you can use from here. Is that you can also easily select your part from the tab here, from the ribbon here. So we have fasteners, holes, shaft. So instead of manually selecting from the content here, I can easily select. Let's say I would like to put a washer or nuts. Maybe I put a washer from here, plain washer. Now, if take a look here, when I click here, sometimes it takes a bit sometimes for me to load, right? So the reason why, because it's actually loading the entire standards. Okay, so this one is actually quite fast. Okay, so you can see that it takes loading a little bit. So let me just put it out here. Yeah, I think I missed something. Okay, never mind. But you can just like the washer, then you can put it over here. So it should be the same like you put uh, the bolt screw and nuts. Okay, so you can see that it takes a bit sometimes because it's actually loading the entire standard. So if you want to make it faster, so you can just type in the type of standard that you want to put. So maybe I just want to put an ISO from here. So it will filter up only an ISO only. So it's easy for you to pick from here. So that is creating based on the panel here. Maybe I want to add hole, blind hole maybe. So I can just click from here. So creating the hole. So other ways is that there are other options allowing you to quickly creating your fasteners such as screw connections. So for example, if I have, let's say, nuts, washer, and so on. So if I try to do it manually, so it will take a bit times for me to put it. But the easy way is that you can use the screw connection from here. So if I can click the screw connections, so I have this sandwich of lists allowing me to quickly creating the connection screw for me. Right. So what type of view do I want? Maybe top view, maybe front view. So I want front view. So I want my fastener to start with the hex head bolt. So again, I can filter out from here. I'm just going to select from here. So I have the first one, and then I will continue with the washer. Now you can see it's automatically selecting everything based on the size that I require. So I don't have to manually selecting the size from here. Right. So the next thing, maybe I add some hole, and it will end with the washer and the nut. Right. So once I'm done, okay, so let's say I'm specified, let's say around the size of M8. So next, and then I can select from here and I will end up until here. Okay, I'm not sure why it disappeared. But let's say I'm just start from here, select finish, and it's creating the sandwich of both the connection. Right, so that is the fastener. So other things that I can put is also shaft. So you can also create your own custom shaft. So if I take a look at the content library from here, so I have this shaft available, shaft parts. So I can put the bearings, right? I can put seals, but for the shaft part, you need to have a shaft first before you putting this bearing. So for example, if I try to put the bearing inside, it will not create the bearings because you need to have a shaft first. So, right, so let's take a look on creating the shaft. So the shaft, you can select to generate the shaft from here. So you can just click and specify the directions. And then I can specify how the shaft I want to create. So maybe I want to create a cylinder first. So create a cylinder, and then it will have a cone. Continue with the cylinder, be slightly smaller. And maybe I continue with the, let's say a gear. For example, I can add a gear maybe. Right, so different things. And maybe I would like to have a hole inside of this shaft. Right, so I can add left corner. There will be hole inside here and so on. Then I can click close and it will automatically generate the shaft. Right, so that is the shaft generator, and then I can quickly add a bearings or seals or things that I want. So maybe I add a bearing from here. Then I can specify. So the first of all, it will ask you to specify the insertion point of the shaft. So you need to specify somewhere around here or here. And then it will ask you to specify the center point of the shaft, which is this blue, this cyan color here. And then you can now generate the bearings that you have. Right, so I believe I have dialog box should appear from here, but I believe it might appear to the second screen. I'm not seeing my second screen, but I should be able to select Photoshop. Basically, that is how you create your shaft parts. And the last thing is that, let's say if you have your own custom parts and you want to add it into the content library. So you can also create your own custom parts. So the custom part need to have a parametrics, which is the dimensional, right? Which is the dimension, allow you to change the size. So from here, I already put some of these uh, dimensions and also geometrical constraints, the parametric here. So when I were to edit the value, for example, I would like to edit the size here, make it the diameter of this ring here to be, let's say, around 7. So automatically it will change based on the value that I put. Maybe I would like to change the size from for 15, let's say around 17. So that is particularly the parametric that I created over here. And now I would like to make it a content library. So I can select new content and I can specify maybe I haven't created the object, so I can create from scratch. But for this case, let's say the entire drawing is my item, so I can use the current drawing. But I have created not for the entire drawing, only on the small parts here that I would like to convert it. Then I can select object, and then I can specify this is the object that I want to be. So once I press enter, I can press OK, and it will pop out the something like a block editor, but for creating content editor. So if you can drop down from here. So this is the panel, the table where you can specify what are the size that you would like to change. So currently it's automatically selecting based on the dimension that I put, which is O diameter and also the O length from here. So let's say I add some more maybe for the thickness. So I can add a dimension from here, from here to here. And then I'm going to put the name, let's say thickness. Oops. Yes. Oh, for example. Now I would like to bring this into my family table. So I can click at the add column from here, and I can specify which column that I want by using the lookup. So I want to bring the thickness. I press OK, so it will be added inside here. Right, but for this thickness, I don't think I need it, so I can just delete from here. So we have two things, which is length and also the diameter. Now I would like to have a list of size. So I can select the add row, and then I can specify what is the what size that I would like to have, right? So the first one is 17 with the length, and then the diameter is 7. So let's say the second one will be somewhere around 20 length, the diameter somewhere around slightly larger, around 9. Right, this one may be a little bit larger, 25. And maybe lastly is slightly smaller. Now, once I'm done, can select save, and then I can specify the folder or location that I would like to save. I can rename this. So I'm going to name this one as a open. And I can specify what view is the item that I have here. So this one will be the front view, so I can save. Okay, I'm not sure what features. Okay, I already create the open here, so I need to have different name. So I'm gonna name this one as, let's say, open 2, save, and then I can click close, and then I can go into the content library, and I can add it from the custom content from here. Simple library, then I have this item here, and then I can click. Okay, lastly, I believe I forgot something when creating this item is that I forgot to put the center point of the object from here. So to edit your content, your custom content, you can type, let's see, for creating the content is the AM content add. So the edit part should be AM content edit. So I'm going to type is AM content edit, and press enter, and I can select, this is the, not sure if this is the one. Okay, let me see. I've put somewhere on here, I need to find back the location of the pin that I have. Okay, let's say if I can type in the name, O2, so it does not allow me. So let me just put it manually from here. Not sure if I see it. All right, here, right. Content edit. So I'm going to edit this one. So to put the base point, so you can find other tools here, you can select base point. So this will be the center point or the point of the item here, right? So I can save, close board later. So if I add another one, so it will creating from the point that I select from here. So that is how you create your custom content parts. Right. So before we end our session for today, so I believe I have some questions. How to change standard color settings. So the standard color setting, I believe you might refer to the hidden line, is it? The hidden line, the center line here. So if you want to change normally the parts, you can just select, then you can create a different layer, and then you can change the layer color from here. So you can see that the layer will automatically created. Maybe you have a center lines or maybe construction lines, so the layer will be automatically created. You can change the color from here if you want to. So for example, I believe there will be, this is the center, is it? So if I click here, I try to change it into, say, green. And you will see the center is now turning into green. So this one is not yet. I think that one is a different center. So let me just check. Let's say this one to green. Yeah, this one is also changed. Right. So if you want to change your standard color, you can just change from. Right. So I hope that answer your question. So I think so we have another questions. Manually can do it more settings. So the setting that we have from here is automatically provided by the AutoCAD Mechanical, because usually in the mechanical side, you have the standard type of color change. Now, if you want to change, so I'm not sure, let me just try and check if I can change on the options. So you have this M option from here. So I believe you need to find the color setting from here. I'm not sure which is this one. buttons, use a color. I believe the color might be automatically created. So if you still want to have your standard color, so let's say if you open up your inventor, if you open up your AutoCAD Mechanical, the AM3N will have different type of color. So what you can do is that you can change it manually from here first. So let me just delete everything. So I just select everything from here. So what I want to say, AM2 here, I would like this to be yellow. And the red here, I would like to be dark green. So let's say don't want to have any red from here. So let me just let me just change the red color to everything. So I have no more red from here. So if you want to have your own company standard, which have your own color settings, so you edit your layer first from here, and then the next thing that you can do is that you can save this as a drawing template, right? So I'm saving this as a drawing template. I'm going to name this one as a company, for example. So next time when I open up my inventor, my AutoCAD Mechanical, is that I can select new, and then I can select, sorry, not this one. I can select new at the top here for me to select my templates. So I'm selecting the company templates. So each time I create a new drawing, I can drop down from here, and then I have my own specific layer color. Right. So I hope this would solve your issue. Right. So I believe that is all. So we have no more questions. So if there are no more questions, so I think I will stop until here. So that is all from me. So thank you everyone for joining this free online lesson. Have a nice day and goodbye. Oh, okay, all right. So I believe we have one more question. Is it available in 3D? So AutoCAD Mechanical, you can use 3D model. So if you drop from here, you can select 3D modeling, but the 3D modeling is not actually part of AutoCAD Mechanical, it's part of standard AutoCAD. So the layer is not provided inside of AutoCAD Mechanical. So what you have is the mechanical layer from here. It's not a 3D layer. Right? So is there any more question before I end? Right, so if you're using AutoCAD Mechanical, yes, you still can use the 3D method. Right, so if no more question, I think we can stop from here. So thank you everyone for joining this film lesson. So have a nice day and bye-bye.